risk budget cuts, and now your unit's buying a whole bunch of BS that they didn't have before and needed.
Well, and the worst part about it is we're spending this money, and the common phrase in the military, made by the lowest bidder.
Right.
You're not getting quality equipment. You're getting, it's tested, but it's not the best piece of equipment you can have based upon the amount of money that's spent.
As a person who has to make decisions for a company level, and I assist in making some decisions for a battalion staff, one of the most frustrating statements that I hear when I'm making a training plan or when I'm doing a maintenance plan is, there's just no funding for that. And what do you mean there's no funding for that? Like, we got money for this thing over here. Yeah, well, there was funding for that. Well, where did that money go? Well, that's a different pot of money. How do I get into that pot of money? Well, you can't touch that pot of money. Why can't I touch that pot of money? Because it's for this thing. Well, okay, well, let's do that thing. No, can't do that. Why? Because there's no money for that. I can't describe the level of frustration being in the Army Reserves and wanting to make my unit the best possible unit in our region, in our theater, and time after time, well, we'll just have to wait because there's no money for that.
One of the things that frustrated me and that frustrates me now looking back at how much I was making in the military, and you're not making a lot of money. And going back to what you said, it's like all this money that the U.S. government has, why don't we spend more on just the paychecks of the members?
Trans people should be allowed in the military.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect this.
Really?
Yeah, me either.
Okay,
Honestly, why didn't you expect it?
Especially when I was in, there's a lot of concern with the readiness aspect of it. Being able to support soldiers that are transitioning, things like that.
Right.
The reason why I came to the middle is because as long as they meet the standard and that it doesn't affect readiness, I see absolutely no problem with it, because the Department of Defense has done this before, where they barred gay people, women from certain things, and those same questions were brought up, and now they're integrated into the force.
One of my cycles in basic training, we did what we call icebreakers. It's the first time soldiers actually interact with the drill sergeants where we are not yelling at them. One of the soldiers stood up, introduced at that time himself, and said, I am so-and-so. I have joined because I want to get my money for college so that I can go to fashion design because I really want to be on RuPaul's Drag Race. And I said, all right, hey, live true, kid. I don't have a problem with that at all, And that, at that time, male soldier came to me later and said, Drill Sergeant, I don't know how to express this because I've heard some things, that some tweets went out from a particular guy who was in charge at the time who